I stopped drinking at the beginning of the book. The dad in the book is still drinking, and it's kind of what would have happened to me and to my son if I hadn't stopped drinking. Leo's mother has died from cancer, and he's been brought up by his dad, and his dad is drinking and hiding bottles and not there at all. But Leo doesn't want to tell anybody about this. He doesn't want to tell his teachers, he doesn't want to tell his grandma, he doesn't want to tell even his best friend, because he fears that as soon as he tells anybody that his dad will be taken away, or that he will be taken away from his dad. The problem is, if you do hide everything away and don't talk to anybody, then the problem doesn't get better. And one of the things that Leo could have done, if I'd known about it more, would have been to call Nakoa, although that would have spoiled the story in the case of the story, because somebody would have, started to help him. It is a taboo, and the definition of a taboo is something that people are too frightened to talk about. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of children who are brought up in alcoholic households, and there is help that can be found, and there are things that can be done about it, but we don't help anybody by not talking about it. In the book, Leo feels quite guilty about his dad's drinking. He thinks it's somehow his fault, and he learns in the book that it isn't his fault at all. It's nothing to do with him whatsoever. In no circumstances is it ever the child's fault, and they should never feel as if it is.
He closed his eyes and just heard the sounds. The muffled thud of the suitcase being dropped, the squeak of the gate as it opened, the crunch of feet on the gravel path, then the footsteps on the stairs. Only these footsteps weren't like before. They were lighter, quicker. They weren't the thumping crashes of the old dad. But what kind of dad was coming up the stairs? Did he even know this dad? Leo stood up as if to greet a stranger. The door opened slowly.
There is a way through, and thousands and thousands of grown-ups, of adults, find a way to stop drinking. But even if that doesn't happen straight away, if you're a child in an alcoholic home, you mustn't suffer in silence. You must pick up the phone and do something about it.
Dad sat down on the bed, smoothing it with his hand. "Come and sit down here," he whispered. "There's something I want to say to you." There was something else different about Dad, something that made Leo happy inside. It was when Dad put his arm around him and pulled him close that he remembered. It was the way he smelt. He smelt like the dad he could barely remember. The dad before Mum was ill, the dad that didn't ever seem to drink. He smelt of fresh air. Leo wrapped his arms around him, the letter in his hand stored up for later. When he looked up at him, he saw that Dad was getting ready to say something important. "You and me," he said, "we're just going to have to start again."